It started with the fact that I was doing all of our business communications. I was the person that did all the letter writing for the company. And as the years went by, I felt I was pretty prolific at it. And then one day my sister, who was working for me at the time, made a comment to me, and I said, you know, that's funny, and I'm going to write a story about you. And I wrote about a 10 or 12 page story about my sister, and she loved it. She thought it was fantastic. So, you know, I got inspired. And I started writing other things, and one day out of the blue I said, I wonder if I can actually write a novel. And I sat down in 2010 and wrote the first novel, which actually was Severed Ties, and finished that, left it in my computer, nothing happened, and then 3 years later I wrote the second novel, and it sat there, and then I just decided, why don't I try to publish it? And that's what I ended up doing. In 2016 I published the second book first and the first book second. So Severed Ties is based on a detective that gets hurt in the line of duty and decides to become a novelist based on his experiences as a detective. And during one of his cases, a very influential but corrupt lawyer was caught in the crossfire of one of his cases. And that particular person actually left the country for 10 years, came back and started to enact revenge against this ex-detective who is now a novelist, using the novelist's own information to use as his guide to kill people close to the detective. So he used this novel as his guide, step-by-step version to kill people that were close to the detective. So the Barilla Chronicles is actually a time travel book, and it's based on, I'm a big World War II fan, and I wanted to write something about World War II without it being like a factual, non-fiction type of thing. So I did some research on Winston Churchill. I figured, hey, what better person to write about? Everybody's heard of him. So I found out that during one part of World War II, he traveled to Naples right after the Allies came in and took over that area, and for 2 days before he was going to go to the Tehran conference. And I said, you know what? I bet I can write an assassination attempt based on those 2 days he's there. But to kind of put a twist on it, I'll do it a time travel where I'm sending someone back in time to go back to stop this assassination. So that's what that's all about. And I'm actually I'm going to do a trilogy of that, and I'm on the second one of those now. Well, I want them to appreciate the fact that this particular character is a real person, like you and I are, and they got caught up in something that they had no idea could happen to them. They lived that life because they were a detective, but they also were a regular person that actually got pulled into this. So I'm hoping when the reader is done reading it, they want more of that character because he is that real person in their mind. If they like Chicago, if they like baseball, because there's a big baseball scene in it based on Wrigley Field, I think that they'll enjoy the whole from the beginning to the end. And there's a big twist at the end. Of all the comments I've gotten on the books and all the reviews, it's the ending that's really taken people by surprise. Well, the interesting thing about that character is I was trying to give him a personality, but at the same time it was difficult because he is an ex-vet from the Desert Storm time period, and he was what they call a bomb. He would go out and try to take bombs and get rid of them. And there's a name for that, it's escaping me right now. But anyway, and that personality was sort of like very focused. I'm like, how do I take that personality and grow it into a 458-page novel? And then be able to go into this time travel and be able to convince a group of partisans to travel with him to stop this assassination. So I really want people to take a look at this book and realize how much went into the book. It's very factual about all the time frames and all the places I went into. Hope they'll appreciate the effort that I put in to get them through that with some factual information. So both books are on Amazon, as well as many other outlets, Barnes & Noble and many different places that you can buy books. Severed Ties is actually on Audible as well, and you can go and listen to it in an Audible format. Both books are also on the Kindle. So they're available in many different avenues, and you can call me too and I'll send you one.